All right, I'm going to show you how to make a 2-point perspective castle that will meet the requirements for the project. So first thing I did is took a page that's a little bit longer, a piece of paper a little bit longer than my drawing space here, and I put that toward the middle so that I can establish my vanishing points and my horizon lines. I'm going to start by putting in the horizon line, and then at either end on that little extra sheet of paper, I'm putting in the vanishing points. It'll make it so that our angles off to the sides aren't going to be so severe. Next, I am going to put in the corner of the castle. This will be the front corner. And then at the top and the bottom of that line, I'm going to have it connect back to the vanishing points on the left and on the right. So let's get the left wall done. And then we'll do the right wall. Make sure that you're lining up your ruler with those vanishing points too. They don't just go anywhere. It's got to go line to point, okay? Next, we're going to show where those walls would end. So I'm going to put in vertical lines where I want the castle to end. And I should end up with a basic box shape like so, all right? So once you have your basic box shape, you can start to erase any extra lines that you have that you don't need. Let me start by saying you need to get the guidelines out. Those are the lines outside of the castle that go above and below the horizon line. But then also you can erase that horizon line that's going through the castle. You're not going to need that. And I should have also mentioned, and hopefully you already did this, draw lightly. You got to draw light because you're going to be doing a lot of erasing. So please draw lightly. All right, so it looks like I have a 3D box here with the corner showing. Now I want to put in towers. So let's see. I kind of want the tower to look like it's coming out of the building. So, and I might add it on like as an addition here. So let's do this. I'm going to start with this corner here, and I'm going to go to this opposite side vanishing point. And you might be like, what the heck are you doing, lady? Well, just let me follow along, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make that guideline out. I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing, opposite vanishing point to this opposite corner here. Okay. See how I just kind of made a thing coming out of the wall there? Well, since it's a tower, I know I'm going to want it to be taller, so I'm going to probably actually have to extend this line up. And go from that corner back. Okay, I see what I'm doing now. Then erase these extra lines here that I don't need. And now this is the right side of that tower. Now I need to make the left side of that tower. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it this corner back, this corner back, and then finish off that tower. Okay, so definitely looks like the start of a tower for me. And I know in the directions it said that I needed to have a couple of towers, actually, at least 2. So let's do what I did with the other one here. Do I want the tower to be up in the front? I kind of do. I kind of want it to be able to stand out from this front area here. So I'm going to extend this line forward a little bit. And this line is going to come all the way up. This line is going to come out. Now I don't see the actual, it's going to go off the page, which I'm okay with. This line is going to go all the way up. And then we're going to go back. Other vanishing point on the same side. All the way up. And I'm just going to let it go off my paper for now. If you can erase these lines. All right, let's see. I think maybe I want the tower. Let's end it here. So since this is on the right side, I'm going to connect that dot going up. There's the corner. Still goes off my paper, but I definitely can see now one tower, two towers, one wall, second wall over here. If you want to put in windows and doors and that kind of stuff, which we do need to have for the castle project, let's start with, well, I'm going to use this horizon line here. And that's actually going to be the top of my doors. Now, we don't really have something that we can judge the size of things by. So at some point, you're going to want to put in things outside of the castle. For example, if I were to draw a tree and make that tree this big, right? That makes the castle appear like it's really not that big of a castle. It's more of, you know, somebody's fancy house. Instead, if I draw a tree this big, that's going to be, if that's a full-size tree, that's a pretty big castle right there. And that would probably be, you know, what I'd want to have if I was like, you know, ruler of the world. So if that's the size there, then we would probably have a door. We're going to do a door. Let's make a line here for the door. And since it is on the left side of the wall here, I'm going to use this left vanishing point to make that angle go back. So I have a door now. If you want it to be a rounded door, just round out your corners. That's okay. All right. Then if you wanted to put in windows, okay, I believe you needed to have 8 windows. Let's do this. We're going to put in lines closest to that corner. Top and bottom of those lines go back to the vanishing point. Make sure you're lining it up at that vanishing point. Okay, so right now I have these 2 windows that are going on and on forever and ever. What I would do is go ahead and put in stop lines to show where these windows are. Now, if these are the arrow slit windows, those windows would be extra narrow because you wanted to be able to shoot the arrows through the window but not have somebody fire back at you and hit you. So we'd want to make sure that these are almost, I mean, my goodness, almost like prison windows, really. Sad to say, but yes. All right. Or, quite honestly, if you wanted to change it up, you could actually make these things giant windows too. You know, it depends on what you want to do. Okay. Usually they would have kind of a combination of both, but you can look at the pictures that are on our website to get a better idea of what you'd like to do. All right, so I have more than enough windows right now. I erase the space between. So you can see, again, like I said, you're going to have a lot of erasing to do, so make sure you draw lightly. And erase all those guidelines that you don't need anymore. All right, 2 towers, more than enough windows. Door, let's get in a drawbridge. Bottom points of the door, make marks so that you can see where you're going to connect that vanishing point. So here for the side, the bottom of the castle here, I had the lines coming out of the right vanishing point. I'm going to use that right vanishing point to do the drawbridge coming out as well. So let's go ahead and line that up. See how that is on the ground now and coming out. And then let's go ahead, use the left vanishing point to show where that drawbridge would end. And because it is not a thin piece of film, it would be kind of a thick drawbridge, right? Because you want to be able to protect people in your kingdom. So this closest corner, I'm going to make a line that goes down. Bring that back to the vanishing point and draw it going back toward the castle. You can extend the bottom of that door there. Same thing the other side. So now we have the drawbridge, but we need to be able to show what's holding it up. So over here, I'm going to put a mark. I'm going to line it up with the vanishing point over here so I can make sure it would be at the right angle on the other side. We could make little marks here where the chain would go. And then what I would do is just draw a line that connects these two very lightly. And then you could make those into chains by drawing across that guideline there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and then I'm going to start a new one that will show you how to do some of the extras.